So apparently Jadon Sancho has accepted personal terms with Fenerbahçe. Okay, if you are willing to go there, mates, away you go. Well, let's all do a GoFundMe right now to get that private jet for Jadon out of Manchester United. Jokes aside, this is FUTV United TV, your midday update, and we have just been talking about the possibility that Casemiro could be exiting. That is debatable, but one thing for definite is Jadon Sancho needs to leave Manchester United, and we have had big developments coming from Turkey just this morning, which are saying that Jadon Sancho is happy to move to Fenerbahçe. We said this last night, but not only happy and discussing personal terms, the Turkish outlets are saying that Jadon Sancho has indeed accepted a 3-year contract on between 10 to 12 million euros a season. What are they on? I don't care. Get him out of the football club. This is mega news. Thank you, Jose Mourinho, for one, for making this happen and persuading Jadon Sancho, because I do think that he has had actually a say in this. Of course, he's had a say in this, but I think he has been part of the reason why Jadon Sancho would accept moving to Fenerbahçe. I think that is I think that's got to be part of it, surely. I mean, I'm not disregarding the potential or the quality of the Turkish league. I'm really not. There have been some big names go there, but Jadon Sancho, honestly, I said it last night, I think it's absolutely perfect. So where are we actually at with these reports? Right, first of all, there was a story that came out this morning, only in the last couple of hours, in fact, about Jadon Sancho accepting these personal terms, like we can see. But not only that, there is another Turkish outlet now saying that Jadon Sancho is accepted these terms, and on top of that, Fenerbahçe have actually put a bid on the table for Jadon Sancho worth 18 million euros. So, it's now up to Manchester United. Now, we all knew that Manchester United had a target price for Jadon Sancho. This is going to test. If this turns out to be true, this is going to really test Manchester United. Are they willing to just wash their hands of Jadon Sancho by taking, what was it, work out approximately 16 million or something like that, I think it works out at? I'm snatching the hands off at that. 16 million plus the 5 million which we got from Chelsea, taking it to just over 20 million for Jadon Sancho. Look, it looked like it was doom and gloomed and we weren't going to be able to get rid of him. We're now looking at a situation here where Jadon Sancho has not only openly said that he wants to join Fenerbahçe, according to Turkish reports. Remember that. But he has now agreed terms, and there is a bid on the table. So not only have we got personal terms moving forward with Jadon Sancho here, in the fact that he wants to move and has accepted the deal on the table, we've actually also got money on the table, as in a bid for Jadon Sancho. This clears the debt. This clears everything out for Manchester United for Jadon Sancho, and we can move forward. It would be absolutely massive if this actually happens. It is a big story, this. It is a big story. I'm just going to read through what's actually been said with these stories from Jadon Sancho and everything that's happened. But Fenerbahçe have submitted an 18 million euro bid for Manchester United to Manchester United for Jadon Sancho. They've offered him a 3-year deal worth approximately 10 to 12 million euros a year. Now, this has come out from one source over in Turkey, and then there has been a bigger one that's come from a journalist who works for DAZN Turkey. Then there has been a bigger one, Sabahspor, which is a media outlet over there in Turkey, also sports media outlet. It's quite a big following as well. They're the ones saying that Jadon Sancho has accepted these terms. So there are 2 to 3 different stories and different reports and different sources coming out with this information right now. Now, look, I'm going to wait this out and see exactly when the big guns come in and say that this is happening. Now, I'm waiting for a big journalist to come and actually verify this, I think, more than anything. But I do believe that Manchester United right now have got several options for Jadon Sancho, for this actual move to possibly happen, to go to Turkey or to Italy. Obviously, we know that Napoli have got their stance on it. This just confirms that Jadon Sancho is definitely out of the door this summer for me, because there's too many offers there for United to discuss. And then once you get Fenerbahçe, a Turkish team, willing to actually put this money down on the table for Jadon Sancho, going off these reports, if he's happy with that, if Turkey can afford to pay his wages, I'm sorry, then you're looking at other clubs possibly potentially being able to afford these wages. It's mind-blowing how we have got so many offers on the table for this player. And that's in my Manchester United tinted glass look on things, because we hate him. But I said this before, and it's always worth just looking at the whole situation and the bigger picture here. And I said this in the live show last night. Jadon Sancho has had a season free of drama. Yeah, you can talk about the qualities, you can talk about what his effort is and what he's done on the pitch, but obviously into the I think it was about 16 goal involvements in the season for Chelsea. There has been no off-the-field antics, no off-the-field fallout at all. He's had a clean season, and this has worked well for United. It really has. Whereas United have got problems with the likes of Rashford and Garnacho at the moment, we haven't with Jadon Sancho because he's not been at the club. And if we can get this wrapped up before pre-season, this is brilliant for Manchester United because Ruben doesn't even have to meet him or deal with the situation. It's been dealt with in-house and away from all of the playing side of things with Manchester United. And I think that is crucial in this as well for us to move forward. Get this done as quickly as possible. And that's why I would accept that bid. Look, it's on the table. You can negotiate to try and get a few £1 million more for Jadon Sancho if you want. But there's no guarantee of that. What I think in the position United are in right now they need to do is obviously look at whether you think that that offer is fair, which I think it is, because it's still going to give Manchester United more than 20 million for Jadon Sancho and not have to see out that last instalment. If everything's covered pretty much with this deal, his wages will pretty much be done and dusted. Yeah, we're not making much profit at all, but is anybody bothered right now? As long as that money and that fee that's coming out every single year for Jadon Sancho at the moment in transfer instalments and wage is off the books, then we are moving in the right direction. We can just replace that with another player. Because let's not forget, Man United are affording that at the moment. So we can obviously carry on paying that if we make sure that we bring it down a little bit. Now, obviously, instalment payments of near 20 million a season is easy to make happen if you structure a decent deal for somebody else. Will that deal actually be for a striker coming into Manchester United is the big thing, because that's what we're talking about. And the story about Mr Adam from Italy, from Fiorentina. I mean, honestly, right now I'm looking at this situation. I'm looking at what this kid is doing and where he's actually at. We've mentioned him before. He failed in the Premier League, albeit he was a lot younger. He's gone away. He's now mid-20s. He's doing well. He's scoring goals in Italy and could be a target for Manchester United. In fact, the Mazio, and this is what I want to get your thoughts on as well, not just Jadon Sancho. Is Jadon Sancho's sale going to catapult Manchester United into a position where we can now go out and buy a forward? Now, he has a £44 million release clause in his contract, Mr Adam. Whether United want to pay that or not, I don't think he's worth that personally. I would rather have probably, I don't know. I think he's a bit more agile, pacey, and he fits the characteristics of what Ruben Amorim wants as a striker. So, really, you're looking at Vlahovic over Mr Adam, just the two names that are out there at the moment. That's the only reason I'm bringing both of them in on this. But Sancho being sold could give us the chance to go out and buy either Vlahovic or Mr Adam. Now, Mr Adam, like I just said a moment ago, has the characteristics, the physique, the pace, and what Ruben likes in a striker. That tall, can hold the ball up, get over the top, make them runs. A lot of his runs and goals have come from them sorts of positions. He does position himself well. He's good in the air. And again, I know it's not the ideal target, but is this about finding a striker to fit a system rather than the name of a striker right now? That's what we've got to decide. But the only reason I'm bringing Mr Adam up is because Damasio has actually come out and said that Manchester United have contacted his representatives this weekend. In fact, on Saturday, he gave the precise day to when Manchester United were actually in contact with Mr Adam's representatives. Now, that I think is significant as well, because if it's only just happened this weekend, then we really are talking about Manchester United really looking at this as a potential realistic transfer. He's the right age. He won't be massively expensive because, yes, you could say the transfer fee is up there. Maybe United can get that down. I don't know. Maybe they feel like that is value for money with that player, with what he's done so far. Look, he's had a few goals at Juventus. He's gone to Fiorentina. He's had big money spent on him before. And now he's at a point where he probably is ready and hardened again to come back to the Premier League. Experienced it a little bit. I think he played 30 games or something, 32 games for Everton, 2 goals in that time. But like I said, he was very, very young. Gone away, come back. Look at the situation. And I'm playing devil's advocate here in this. I'm not saying he's my top choice. But Victor Gyökeres, at the same age, was only just coming onto the scene also. He had failed in the Premier League, went away, and now we're all clamouring to get him into Manchester United. Could this be a cheaper option for United? You could argue this is cheapskateness from Sir Jim Ratcliffe going for the easy option. You could argue that Manchester United are also looking at the thinking outside the box and looking at a player that might not be a name or well known for goal scoring and contributing, but somebody who characteristically fits into a Ruben system that might complement the other players that Manchester United are bringing in around him. But it's your choice. I mean, you can talk about it all you want. Get into the comment section on this one and let me know what you think, because it's an interesting one, I think, more than anything, Moise Keane. But I think it's all brought about by the situation developing with Jadon Sancho right now. So there's plenty to talk about in this one here. There's a load more stories going on at the moment, and I think it's going to be a busy old day. But get into the comment section now on this one. Talk to me about Jadon Sancho. How happy are you with that deal? And if it does open up the realm to bring in a striker, with what's available, reality-wise, because United are not going to overspend, who would you go for? Is Moise Keane a good player right now that Manchester United could spend money on, that's going to be a lot cheaper than Jadon Sancho, on decent wages, on a proper wage structure? Is that the right way to go for United here? Not buying the so-called big names, but going for someone who has got a bit of Premier League experience. Don't forget that. He's played 30 games for Everton, so he knows what the Premier League's like as well. Maybe that's a key in this also when you think about it. But you get your comments in below. Let me know what you think. Sancho out, Keane in. Where are you at with that transfer, everybody? Let me know. Get into the comment section below, please, and give me your comments. Make sure you hit that subscribe button up on your screen to be part of the FUTV army. And pop a like on the video before you finish. That would be lovely. I'll see you in the next video, which I don't think is going to be too far away with what's going on at the moment. It's busy.